What happened here?
Well, he was arrested because he allegedly killed his girlfriend's dog. And they were talking about a small dog. It was a Yorkie. He told police that he kicked the dog when it bit his hand. But because of discrepancies with what Shenbo told the police and the animal autopsy results, they got an arrest warrant. The results showed that the dog died of blunt force trauma, fractured ribs, fractured liver, abdominal hemorrhage, and this is just half of the list. I talked to a high-ranking team official last night, and he said that the Falcons got a phone call yesterday as Shenbo was going out onto the practice field saying that he'd probably be arrested within the next 24 to 48 hours. So they looked into this and rounded up all the high-level execs, the owner, the president, the GM, of course the head coach, and they made a swift decision. They cut him before, guys, he was even arrested.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some questions about the credibility of that story. If the dog's biting your hand, how do you then get to kick it?
To kick it.
Right.
But Shenbo has a bit of a checkered past.
He does, yeah. So back in Notre Dame, during his freshman year, there was a 19-year-old girl who accused him of sexual battery. He was never charged, but 10 days after the girl reported it, she committed suicide.
Remember the name Prince Shenbo? The ever-present lawyer is already there spinning the story, saying with complete conviction his client didn't mean to harm the dog. Despite veterinary findings that indicate without question Shenbo beat the tiny animal to death.
A dog walker caught on camera kicking a dog has now been charged. It was all caught on an elevator security camera and since then has been shared and widely viewed. Joni Lum.
Here in the West Loop, people are still shocked by this man's actions. It's horrible to watch a man kick a puppy. That man's business was shut down. The video has been widely shared, taken from an elevator security camera. 39-year-old John Stenhold is seen kicking a beagle puppy and stepping on its paws. The building security staff told the building manager and the owner, who followed up with police. He's now charged with misdemeanor animal cruelty, and dog lovers in the neighborhood are glad that he's been put out of business.
I think that's really awful. You hire people that you trust and that you want to trust, and you leave your dog, they become your family, and I just think that's really awful. Good for the family owners and letting it out there and getting it out there and letting people know. You want to know who your dogs are with and you want to be able to trust them.
Remember the name Jonathan Stenholt, the business called Alone at Home Pet Care. One can only guess how many other defenseless animals he tortured in the privacy of homes. Can only guess how many trusting animals, creatures like kids, because they're not born to hate, nor are they born to be bad. They're taught those emotions by bullet-headed owners and jackhammer idiots like Stenholt. How many of them were abused while this person got his jollies hurting them?
You can see the pain and suffering in Katie's eyes. Hands of love comfort the dog whose mouth was taped shut for 3 days with this electrical tape.
The small circle, so that's how big Katie's snout was when she originally was taped up. And the big circle is what her snout measures now.
While her muzzle was taped shut, Katie couldn't eat, drink, or pant. You can still see the tape marks over her swollen mouth.
Like I said, her tongue was stuck between her teeth. Part of the tissue has died off, so she's going to have specialty surgery to probably amputate part of her tongue.
In the meantime, the vet's office is doing what it can to keep Katie comfortable.
She's on IV fluids right now to keep her hydrated. Because of how damaged her mouth is and the injuries, she's not really, has no interest in drinking water. So this is really the only way that we can provide her with the hydration that she needs.
Roman is the anti-cruelty investigator with the nonprofit. He's leading the investigation.
The punishment would be 5 years in jail and a $5,000 punishment.
The Charleston Animal Society is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to the person who hurt 15-month-old Katie.
This guy's name is Antonio Furlow. You might not know him, but he's the person who mutilated Caitlin in South Carolina. He's a person who recently was arrested after doing the same thing. He wrapped tape around a dog's muzzle as punishment in Georgia. They're still looking for the person who tortured that one puppy, Caitlin. Can I beg you to help me? Can I ask you to help uncover these people, report them to law enforcement, ruin their lives, leave them marked as the worst kind of excrement? Don't turn away. Those who would hurt such innocent living beings can just as easily do the same to you, your family, your kids, and those furry kids who was close and loving as if they could speak. And if you can't bring yourself to turn them in, send me the information. I'll turn it over to local authorities, because I will forever refuse to turn my back on seeking punishment for this all too often overlooked band of cockroaches. Let's do something about it, and don't be afraid to look at it. That's my opinion, telling it like it is. Rock on, true believers. Thanks for joining us. Do something good today. Stop animal abuse in its tracks. We'll see you tomorrow right here on MidPoint.